Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new here, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid. Okay, you are here on a very good day if you happen to like deck unboxings. As you know, by the time I post this video, I would have posted 2, maybe 3 deck decluttering videos of decks that I'm rehoming, that I'm clearing out of my collection. And if you saw this video that I'm going to put in the cards and in the description below, if you saw this video, you know that I mentioned that I had decks and decks piling up in my closet during my YouTube hiatus. And I just, I didn't open them, I didn't unbox them. And you know how it is when you do deck unboxings predominantly, if they're not new and just released, it's, people lose interest because there are people who are really quick on getting on certain decks out and showing them, hot off the press. And for me, for my channel, as small as it is, if that doesn't happen, if I don't get a new deck out right away, it kind of falls by the wayside for the bigger channels. So, and that's okay. That's the nature of YouTube, and that's how it is. So we're going to have some fun. And instead of doing these decks one by one, we're just going to do a mass unboxing to see what I have in the box. Some of these, I really honestly don't remember what's in them. So it'll be kind of a surprise. We have indie, we have mass market decks, and we'll just take a quick look. I'm not going to go card by card like I normally do with my unboxings, though there might be 1 or 2 decks, now that I think of it here, that I may do that for. I may pull them aside, but I'll let you know if that's going to be the case. Okay, without further ado, let's get to the first deck. Okay, the first deck is a mass market deck. It's Ask the Witch by Francesca Mattinoni and Simon Pace. And I've had this for a while. It's been out for a while. And yeah, purchased it off of Amazon, and it's been sitting in my closet for many months. So on the back, it says witches throughout history, literature, and mythology gather together in this fascinating tarot to bring you the magic and wisdom of sage crones, ancient fairies, nocturnal creatures, and women of adventure and chaos. This intrepid coven, who represents global traditions from Circe to Joan of Arc to Baba Yaga and many more, welcomes the questions of beginners and advanced practitioners alike. All right, let's get this bad boy opened. So it's got a very matte magnetic closure box, and it's always fun to do this. I'm gonna look at, okay, this is published by Red Wheel. I have 2 decks, I believe, or 3 decks published by Red Wheel. The first of which is Carrie Paris's mass market edition of the Relative Tarot, and I have a full unboxing of that. And a couple of Shaheen Miro's decks, his Nomad Oracle, which is basically a Lenormand deck, and his Uncommon Tarot. And so you get a beautiful guidebook. We'll take a look at that. And there's a box within a box. And that's the inside. And so this is in a tuck box. And the cards do not come wrapped inside. And the cards appear to be out of order. Okay, I'm gonna have to put these in order. All right, so I separated the suits, but these might be a little bit wider than standard tarot size. It's a kind of glossy cardstock, not premium cardstock. I like the cardstock of my other decks that I have by Red Wheel better. My Relative Tarot is a nice matte. Shaheen Miro's Uncommon Tarot is a nice matte. So it's kind of like a semi-gloss. It doesn't seem like it's super sticky. So we'll just flip through. Let me get down a little bit lower and we'll flip through the majors really quick. So it's a unique muted color palette. Very interesting. Kind of along the lines, the artwork, as you know, the Sterling Ethos decks, you know, the Cosmic Slumber, the, oh gosh, I'm brain farting right now, but you know, all the decks by Sterling Ethos. The art reminds me of those decks, and I have, I think, practically all of those. So right now I'm getting the vibes that I don't know if this deck is going to get used in my collection. Very, very interesting, very fun. It's got a border, but it's not, you know, distracting. It's a nice thin black border. I like that sun card. Okay, so let's take a look at one of the suits really quick. And we'll take a look at the cups because that's my suit. Always have to look at the suit of cups. It's very RWS esque. Well, it's basically an RWS clone looking at the suit of cups. Yes, so I think it would be a great deck for a beginner. Yeah. Very, very much a clone. So that's great if you like RWS decks. We'll take a look at the book just really, really quick to see if it has anything different to offer. Maybe an experienced tarot reader. So looking in the guidebook, let's see, table of contents. It talks about the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, history of the stories of tarot cards, witches in the tarot cards depicted in the deck, how to use the deck, symbols of the major and minor arcana, and reading and interpreting the tarot cards, and the witch's message. Let's see, okay, if there are any spreads. So this is really good, I think, if you are a beginner. So it's going straight into the Fool. And it looks like there's a lot of stories in here. Okay, so this is something, the cards are not wowing me, but it might offer something like the True Heart Intuitive Tarot did for me, where that deck shines because of the book. And how you know, if you see this video, maybe I'll post it up here, how I changed my mind about the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. Maybe reading the book would do this. So, for instance, Circe is depicted as the magician. And it gives you a part of the lore and the witch's spells at the bottom. Okay, so positive, that means positive, the meaning. So there's positive concentration, resources, ingeniousness, directive intent. And then the negative is wasted talent, manipulation, lack of scruples. So these are more, I think, in correlation with the lore of Circe, as opposed to being, you know, totally keywords for the RWS deck. But they do correlate. So that's interesting. Okay. So I don't know. I'm not going to be hasty about this deck, but the cards are just kind of like giving me, you know, they're okay, but it's not total love, especially with the card stock. But I'm going to work with it before I make a hasty decision, because, you know, when I was starting to unbox it and look at the cards really quick, I say, no, I don't think this is going to stay. But I'm going to work with it and I'll give you an update. All right, moving on. All right, let's head off to an indie deck. And I honestly don't remember what's in this deck. I have, you know, marked out the addresses, so I really don't know. So let's open it up. And while I'm opening up this box, if you find any value to this video, or if you have any fun watching it, please consider hitting a like, a subscribe, all of which helps this small channel to grow. And also I want to let you know, you'll see underneath the bar where you can like or hit notifications or subscribe button, there's gonna be a super thanks button. Now YouTube is rolling out these super thanks buttons, and they're giving it to channels randomly, is my understanding, and I don't know why they gave it to my channel because it's very small. I don't get a lot of views, but I guess they were nice enough and they gave me the option to enable this. So if you find any value to these videos or any of my videos, you can choose to hit the super thanks and make a small donation if you're so inclined, but please don't feel the need that you have to do that. I'm just letting you know that the button is there. All right, let's keep going. Let us see. What is in the plastic? Oh. Yes. Y'all know what this is. All right, we have here, I know y'all are gonna say, why did you keep this in the closet for months? This is the Spirit Keepers Tarot by Benebell Wen, and this is the Revelation edition, the first print run, but it's really like the third edition of this deck, or the third incarnation that she's put out. I don't have her other two. I would really like to get the second one, the Vitruvian edition. I'm thinking that now, but let me tear open the deck and see if I still feel that way. So you can see I got 1124 of 3507. Okay. And it comes with a little card, probably a depiction of a couple of the cards. Very cool. Now, you'll know that there's a lot of probably unboxings and deep dives, probably by Benebell herself. I have not been watching those videos because I want my own, you know, kind of impressions. I don't want to be, oh, this is a magnet. Very cool. And I'm smelling, I believe that Benebell anoints her decks with consecrated oil, and I'm smelling that right now. I think that's what I'm smelling. I'm very excited for this deck. I'm going to have to print out the companion book, the bigger book that I think you can buy with this, because this is a deck I think, well, I know you're definitely going to have to deep dive. Tell me what it is you seek. I will show you the way. Lay your fears by my feet. I will dispel them. Name what afflicts you. I can heal it. Whatsoever you need, I shall provide. Here is your refuge. Here you will find sanctuary. Okay, already I'm getting the tingles. Yeah, having not had her other two decks. Beautiful matte cardstock. It's on the thinner side, but it's sturdy and it should be really easy to shuffle. I would say standard tarot size. It's edged in gold. I don't know if her other decks are edged in gold or silver. Let me know in the comments below if her other, you know, the first or the Vitruvian edition. And, you know, quite honestly, I almost backed the Vitruvian edition because, well, I didn't back her first one because I was too new to tarot, and I just knew that this was going to go way over my head. Almost backed the Vitruvian edition, but still, I had that feeling it was going to go over my head. Looking at this one, still thinking it's going to be over my head. And I just, I am loving the art and the vibe. I just don't think I'm smart enough to handle this deck in the way that it needs to be used, other than using it as just a standard RWS deck, which is pretty much what I'm comfortable with. I think there's a lot of symbology, and I know there's a lot to Benebell's decks, and I just don't feel smart enough to handle it. It's kind of like Robert M. Place. I have some of his decks, and I don't have any of his books other than the book that came with my Vampire Tarot of his. And it's like already, you know, I started reading that and didn't finish it because it was just like whoosh. So I don't know. I love it. I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm touching. But I don't know, you guys. This may be a deck that is way too above me. Yeah, I'm just not feeling smart enough to deal with a deck like this, to learn with a deck like this. And sometimes I think that, you know, the RWS is all my brain can handle, even though I want to delve more into Marseille. I haven't delved into Thoth at all. Part of which is my aversion to Crowley, but I think there's a lot to that deck. But again, I think it's just something that's going to go whoosh, way over my head. So let me know in the comments below what your experiences with this deck has been. I think it's beautiful, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to stay in my collection. It is stunning. It is stunning. Okay, this one I opened. I know what it is. It's a mass market deck. And it is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Now this deck has been out for a while, but Llewellyn had it in the big box set that they have, you know, with the big book. And I'd always been tempted by that deck. But then when I heard that they were coming with this edition, the smaller edition, I kind of pre-ordered this, and I forgot about it, quite frankly, and I meant to cancel it, but I didn't, and then now it's too late to return it. So let's see if this is something I'm going to want to keep. So it's got that Lo Scarabeo top loaded box. Ooh, it's quite tight. It's not like the Tarot Muja that, you know, is very slippy. At least mine is. You know, you don't want to hold it this way because the box will fall. But it's very, very pretty. I don't remember if the cards in the big box set, if they're borderless or smaller than this, if these cards are supposed to be bigger. Let me know if you have both sets and what the difference is. If I love this deck, I don't know, I may decide that I want the book. I think the book is written by Jamie Elford. Yes, I'm looking at the small book, and it is, the text is written by Jamie Elford. All right, so the cardstock feels really nice. There's a semi-gloss to it. And again, it seems like this card would be bigger than the cards that are normally in the Llewellyn big box sets, you know, the book and card sets. Yeah, let me know if you have both. But those backs are really pretty, and oh, I love this muted color palette. Again, you know, this is a RWS clone type deck. The art is stunning though. I really, really love this. Ooh. Now, with the Lo Scarabeo book, we'll take a look really quick. Oh, I love this Hermit. Yeah, I don't know if the book would be worth getting. Let me know if you have the book, the bigger book in the book and card set, and let me know what the writing is like. Let me know if it gives you any further insights other than just traditional RWS meanings, if it's worth getting the book, you know, because if the book is good, I'll purchase the other, you know, I'll purchase the set. But I really love the artwork. As far as an RWS deck, I think this is gorgeous. And that's what I'm most comfortable using. Even after all this time. Well, you know, I've only been using tarot for, I don't know, 3 years, and I still feel very much like a beginner and stupid at times. Yeah, this is really a beautiful deck. And I know I'm going to keep this one for sure. The only question I have is, do I need to get the other set with the big book? I am pretty sure that these cards are bigger. Yeah. So I am glad that I got this because you can see the gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. Yeah, more fully. And let's take a look at the book really, really quick. Yeah, so you just, let's see. So yes, you just get a little bit about the card, describing the card and keywords, and the elemental correspondences, upright and reversed meaning, and then it goes on, you know, it has it in different languages. So yes, I don't know. Let me know if the bigger book is chock full of any, you know, added information that might add an extra element to this RWS inspired deck. All right, let's go to a mass market deck, and I'm sure you all have seen lots of unboxings of this, so we won't spend too much time on it. It's the Mystical Medleys of Vintage Cartoon Tarot. This is Liminal 11, Sterling Echoes. It's got that great flip magnetic box, and I know there's lots of unboxings of this, but I want to know, I just want to give you my first impressions. This is really, really cute. Now it does have that little cardboard, but it looks like it's removable. Yes. Ooh, look at the little smiling sun. This is, yes, the standard little hardcover book. Fun backs. Now, this cardstock feels, it's very matte, but it feels very cardboardy, which I'm very, very surprised. I loved vintage cartoons. I grew up with vintage cartoons as a kid because, you know, we didn't have cable back then, back in my day. I love the distressing, the borders, you know. So let me know if you all are bothered by the borders. I'm not. I love the black ink smudges on the cards. I think it just adds to it. I am kind of surprised about the cardstock though. It's, you know, some of the edges feel a little bit, I don't know, like you could get a paper cut from it. But I do love these images. And if you are in a more fun, playful mood, if you are a professional reader, or even if you're not, if you are reading for somebody else who's kind of, you know, maybe wary or hesitant about the tarot, a deck like this would be great. It's RWS inspired, follows the RWS system, it appears. And it would be a great and wonderful deck for that kind of a situation. Or if you just need to add some lightness or levity, you know, to your day, this is a fun deck. A little bit disappointed with the cardstock. Let's see. Well, you all know how everybody complained about the cardstock of the Modern Witch Tarot. Yeah, this is hard for my hands to handle. There's not a lot of bend to it, and I think there would be some, if you're not careful with it, you could easily crease this, as it doesn't feel like there's a lot of snapback, if that makes sense. But let me know if you've been using this deck for a while, because it has been out for a while, and let me know what your experience. How are your cards holding up? Especially if you use it a lot. Now, I really love the aesthetic of it, and I would use this. I would totally use this. I love the smudge, I love the distressing, I love the nostalgia. Yeah, I would totally use this deck, and I'm probably gonna keep it if the cardstock, you know, doesn't bug me too much. I honestly don't know what's in this box. Let's find out together. All right, it's like Christmas in May. Let's see what's in the box and underneath all the paper. Ooh. Okay, this is a mass market deck. It's a Llewellyn deck. And we have the Cirque du Tarot by Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Josh Tufts. I had totally forgotten about this deck. I had pre-ordered it from Amazon, and something happened with it, and something happened with the pre-order, and then I ended up ordering it from Llewellyn, and that pre-order was pushed back. And so by the time it finally came, it didn't come when it was supposed to. I had totally forgotten about it, and I was on my YouTube hiatus, and I just threw it up in my closet. But we have it now, so let's take a look. Okay, so you can see it's in the beautiful Llewellyn big box. Look at the inside, and I'm sure there are tons of unboxings of this deck, so we'll just go as fast as I can, but I want to look at this. Of course, it has the wonderful big guidebook, and yes, I'm glad I have a Llewellyn big box deck here, because we can the deck size, the cards are definitely smaller than that Heaven on Earth without the big book. We'll compare them. Oh, these backs are so much fun. And oop, the cards are sticking a little bit together. They are kind of glossy. Let's see, I have the Heaven and Earth. Okay, so yes, well, no. Okay, yes. The Heaven and Earth card is just, if you can see, just a little bit taller. And this being a big box deck. So there's not too much difference in the cards, I mean, width-wise. So I don't know if I'd need the cards if I got the bigger set of this deck. Interesting. So from the title, I take it that we're going to have a circus theme, and I was very excited to get this deck when I heard it was coming out. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this. Again, I believe, you know, it's an RWS deck. Kind of a magical circus world. That's a nice hermit card. And we're not going to go through all the cards, as I'm sure you can find an unboxing of this, since this deck has been out for a little while. But first impressions right now, I'm digging it. It's one that I will kind of look forward to working with. I do love these images. Some of the cards are muted and soft, and some of them are just bright. I really love the artwork in this. Ooh. Very much. Oh! So, okay. So the pages, they're all kind of the same. Different color palettes. That's interesting. Very interesting. And now we're going to see the knights. I don't know if that's going to be a little bit kind of confusing. I don't know if I like that. It's almost a little bit, let's see, get the knights, a little bit lazy. So you'll have to remember by the colors which is which, or, you know, reading. So we got the green for the pentacles, red, orange for the wands, blue for the cups, and kind of a purple and blue mixture for the swords. Very interesting. I don't know if I like that, having them all so similar in each of the suits. I'm going to have to work with it. Oh man. I don't know if that's gonna bug me, but then it's a little bit lazy in my opinion, because all of the rest of the art is pretty good. Okay, I don't know. This is one that I am gonna have to work with. The good thing is it's, you know, very RWS, and so I shouldn't have any problems working with it. It's probably in my realm of intelligence here. Okay, so this is the Cirque du Tarot. Oh, and it does come with the big guidebook. So let's see. Nice colorful pictures, so you get the full experience with the artwork in the book. So that's good to have. So it looks like the suits or the courts are all lumped together in the book as well. So that will be interesting. Okay, this will be interesting to work with this. I'm kind of excited and then kind of let down that the courts are also similar. So we'll see. We'll see. The jury is out. I'm thinking this is an indie deck, so we are going to open the box and take a look. Oh yes, this is a Kickstarter. Journey of the Sacred Bee. It's the Oracle deck. I do have the tarot deck, and there's a full unboxing of it on my channel. So got a nice thank you card. Again, a thank you, and it's packaged so beautifully. Ooh. Wow. There's something in here. I think it's probably the guidebook. And here is the deck. Oh, it's packaged so beautifully. I hate to take these things apart, you know, when you get them, but you have to get to the deck. All right, let's see what's in the bag. This is a nice heavy canvas bag. Oh, it's some spiffs. A card stand. This is nice and thick, you guys. A pin. A patch. I think I might send this off to my daughter. She likes that. And then we have a journal that you can print out or download and print out. Yeah, there's a code you can scan. Very cool. Very cool. If I remember correctly, there was a cloth you were able to add on, pay extra for, but I didn't opt for that because I have the cloth from the tarot deck and I figured I don't need two, but it was quite beautiful if I remember. Oh, beautiful. But the first one, if you know the deck, is beautiful as well. Oh, wow. The bees are nature's alchemists. Using the wisdom of sacred geometry, which is the intelligence of the universe, they bring life and sweetness to earth. And there is an autograph. Here is the guidebook, and the cards are wrapped. Beautiful box. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Nice matte cardstock. There's the the purple gilded edges. And let's get in a little bit closer. Stunning. I think that this is a deck, an oracle deck that, I got it because I have the tarot deck. And truth be told, I haven't used that deck a whole lot because it's a little Thothy. And yeah, it is more Thoth than RWS. So again, I haven't really worked with the Thoth. I haven't learned the basic, worked with the basic Thoth deck. I don't even have a copy. So I don't know if this might be a segue to working with Thoth. Of course, you can use a deck like this with, any nature-based deck. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what it's like pairing them together. It would be fun to work and do a deep dive with both of these beautiful decks together. I got the tarot deck pretty early on my tarot journey. Didn't know that it was going to be more Thoth than RWS. So yeah, it hasn't been worked with a whole lot. It's been mostly admired, to be quite honest. But I don't know, if I want a challenge, maybe this is one I could handle. I don't know. I think I could handle this over Benna Wen's deck. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But it's beautiful. Beautiful production. This artwork is just giving me the tingles. These colors, It's true what they say about color therapy. Yeah. Okay. So this is a winner in production and giving me all the feels. I do want to work with this in conjunction with the deck. So yeah. Beautiful. Let me know what your experience is if you got this deck. Let me know if you backed it on Kickstarter. Okay, this is not going to be exciting. It's been out for a while. I'm sure there's plenty of unboxings, but this is the Tarot Vintage by Lo Scarabeo. And I got this a long time ago. I pre-ordered it. And because I love vintage type decks, I do love my Centennial RWS, and I wanted to see what this one had to offer. The box is beautiful. It's got some texture to it, like some distressing. All right, I love the aesthetic. Very, very cool. So it's the skinny low Scarabeo size. Love the backs. Remind me of the Radiant Wise, the backs of the Radiant Wise RWS deck that Los Scarabeo did. And that deck was wider, I think. I had that deck. I couldn't work with it because of the cardstock. It was super, super sticky, and I passed that on a long time ago. I do love this tea stained. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the cardstock is nice too. I think I may prefer this over the Centennial. The narrow cards are nice for my small hands, so wow. I really like this. I do love this tea staining on it. It's almost like somebody spilled their coffee on the deck. Or it's been aged. I mean, it's just, you know, been found in a trunk from, you know, 100 years ago. It's very cool, and I'm all over this aesthetic. And you know what? I'm going to definitely edge these in probably a tea stained color. Are these edged in? It looks like they have had some tea staining coloring on the sides, on the edges, but I'm gonna distress it even more. Yeah, I really love this color palette. I love everything about it. This is gonna get used. This is really gonna get used. I'm starting to really, really appreciate the standard RWS deck, and I'm becoming a fan. Yeah, I may do a video showing all my RWS decks. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that. All right, let's see what's in this envelope. Let's see. I hope this is as fun for you as it is for me. It is. It's like Christmas in May. What do I have in here? Oh. They're mass market decks. Okay. They are from Hay House. I got these two decks. I've been sitting on them for a while. Oh, wow. I do have the original Moonology deck, which I love. And then I think because I wanted free shipping, I got this one. So I have no idea how I'm going to feel about both of these. Let's unbox the Moonology Manifestation deck first. And if you saw my unboxing videos, you saw that I, you know, decluttered quite a few decks, Hay House decks, Oracle decks. Ooh. Hopefully this is something that I can use in my practice. And already loving the backs, and as I mentioned in my decluttering videos with the Hay House decks, the Oracle decks, I do love this matte cardstock. I love it. It's thin, it's pliable, it has some bounce back, so those are all good things. But I did declutter a lot of kind of manifestation decks, so you know, go for it. I don't know. Know your worth. I'd forgotten, you guys, that I got this deck. It is beautiful. I think I could use this though, you know. All right, this card is telling me to shine. Sparkle, Bonnie, sparkle. trust all will be well. It's beautiful. I'm going to try to work with it. I'm going to try. Let me know in the comments below. I do have a lot of astrology decks. I have Claire Goodchild's Compendium of Constellations that she had for pre-order recently. I think it's in my mailbox today, or it was supposed to come today. So, you know, maybe I could use that in conjunction with that deck. We are going to try to work with it before we make a final decision. But I don't know, it may turn up in another declutter video, but I am going to try to work with it. I am going to try to give it the old college try, work with it for a bit, and see if it has a place. But it's a beautiful deck. It is stunning. And I do really like the original Moonology deck, so there's that. There is Astro Codes by Heather Roan Robbins. And I don't remember, I don't even know if I saw an unboxing of this deck, but I opted to get it for free shipping. It's like, why not? Tap into the powerful energy of ancient astrological archetypes and the influential relationship between celestial bodies as they move through the sky and through your life with Star Codes Astro Oracle. Okay, so I just got rid of an archetype deck, if you saw in one of my other unboxings, but we'll see, because this has an astrological bent, if I might keep it around. Like the backs, very, very cool. Nice, that nice cardstock I love. Let's flip it over. Okay, so it's basically an astrology deck with, again, with keywords, which I kind of like, and I do like the artwork on this deck. I do like it. I'm just, as I'm flipping through it, I'm just trying to think of how I can use it. But it's a very, very beautiful deck. I love the color palette. I love the aesthetic of this deck. I like the cardstock. I think I could use this. But, you know, as you've seen from all my decluttering videos, the proof is in the pudding. It's from use. What kind of messages will I get? Can I read the deck intuitively? Or do I always have to be tethered to the guidebook? I don't mind being tethered to the guidebook for a while, but for me to keep a deck, I want to be able to use it also without the guidebook. So that will come into play. Let's just, ooh, that's beautiful. Let's just take a look at the guidebook really, really quick. I'm going to see what kind of information's in here. So there's action and a challenge, a gift. So there's a lot in here. I want to see how much, you know, after reading the book, how much I can absorb and use the deck intuitively. See, that's the real test, because a deck like this, I don't want to be tethered to the guidebook. And that's the case with most decks. You know, you want to read it, you want to use it for reference once in a while, but you don't want to be tethered to it and not be able to use the deck with, you know, efficiently, or find a way to use it without the guidebook. See, that's the goal. Now, I want to show you guys something. I picked this original Rider-Waite Tarot pack at Half Price Books, and it was $7.99. And look at this. It's factory sealed and everything. Okay. I picked this one, this copy for $4 at a place called Austin Creative Reuse. Now, Austin Creative Reuse is a place where you can donate your unused materials, like art materials, sewing materials, and you donate it and they resell it for very economical prices. So I've gotten a lot of art supplies there, and I got this deck, found it last summer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, cool. And I ordered it when they had an online shop during the lockdowns, and you could go, do an online order and pick it up. Well, when I got home, I realized that the deck, hold on a second. Had some issues with it. Now, I think I saw this deck, first became aware of this deck, this incarnation of the RWS on Sunset Bow, Sarah from Sunset Bow's channel, and I really liked the color palette of this deck, and I love the backs. And I believe she did a video telling which was the older version with the better cardstock and which was the newer version. So, well, with this particular one I found at Austin Creative Reuse, part of this deck is in pristine condition. The rest of it is like got some glue, like glue gun glue on it. The cards are stuck together. I don't know what happened. Yeah, there's some hard glue on there, and I was devastated. I thought I was gonna have a deck to use, and I think some of these yeah, see, torn off. Really, really like the deck. I like the feel of the cardstock. Look, it's like somebody's dog got to it. Torn. So I said, okay, well, maybe I can use this deck for journaling, some art journaling, make a tarot journal out of it, because I can't really use the deck in this condition. And it's such a shame because some of these, or most of the deck, is in really good condition. All right, so I want to compare it, the cardstock, with this deck with the other one I picked up from Half Price Books edition, or an older edition, because I think the cardstock is supposed to be different. And I noticed there was a number. This PO number is different on the backs of both decks, and I can't for the life of me remember what Sarah said to look for, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how they differ, if they differ at all. Okay, so it's the same packaging. It's got that Celtic cross. The backs are the same. Okay, the cardstock is the same. It's the exact same. Okay, well, I like the cardstock. I think it's pretty good. It's feels like pretty good US Games cardstock. It's not glossy. Maybe a little bit, it's like a semi-matte. But I like it. I like this deck. I do like the coloration of it. Yeah, so I have another RWS deck, but I was just like so curious. But let me show you how the back of the boxes differ. Okay, this is the newer one. Okay, the one I picked up from Half Price Books, and this is the one I picked up from Austin Creative Reuse. The backs are different. Yeah, the item number is different, but if you see that PO number, oh, this one I picked up from Half Price Books is older. It's from 2015. The one from Austin Creative Reuse is newer. It's from 2019. Interesting, but the cardstock feels the same. The guidebook seems a little bit more vibrant in the newer deck. It's probably just age. But yeah, I'm glad I have a complete deck, and I got it for $7.99. So there's that. All right, you all, we're at the point of the video where I'm in a quandary. I have a few more decks, 3, I think, that I don't know if I want to unbox them here, or they're kind of a little more special that I think they deserve their own unboxing, even though they have been out for a while. This one is one of them. See, I've had it since February 9th. I don't know. I'm kind of in a quandary. Okay, so one of the other ones, I think I definitely don't want to unbox here because I want to do a whole video of all the different editions, because there's multiple editions of this deck, and I want to show you and compare side by side all the editions that I have. So I'm definitely not going to do that one. But I have 2 others here that I'm kind of wondering. I know you're saying, just do it already. But I think this video is long enough as it is. So I think I'm gonna wait. And we're gonna do a recap of what I've unboxed. So I'll do a quick recap of my feelings of these decks and just whether or not I think they have a place in my collection. Okay, first of all, you saw I unboxed the Heaven and Earth Tarot RWS clone. The images are stunning. I'm really excited to work with this one. In fact, I'm thinking I need to buy the bigger box set because I want to work with the bigger book. Now let me know, please, in the comments below, if you have the bigger set, if you've read the book, if you think it'll add anything to someone who studies RWS. If there's nothing really extra, then I think I'll be okay with just this deck. But I think it's beautiful. Beautiful, can't wait to work with it. Mystical Medleys, a vintage cartoon deck, definitely staying. I think I can have a lot of fun with this. Yeah, pure fun. The cardstock is a little cardboardy, but I think it's sturdy, and this definitely has a place in my collection. I mean, who doesn't like cute once in a while? So definitely staying. Wisdom of the Bee, Sacred Bee Oracle by Kelly Burton. This one is a little bit tricky. And like I said, I haven't really deep dived thoroughly with the accompanying tarot deck. And I have played with it, but because it's more thothy, it's kept me from using it. And I think this oracle is one of those oracles that I will only use or predominantly use if I use that deck, because the keywords, just one little keyword, I think I'm going to be tied to the book. I have a couple of decks like that's okay, but I've gotten rid of a lot of oracle decks where, you know, I don't want to be tied to the guidebook. I want to study it, but then I want to be able to use the deck intuitively. Also, I like oracle decks that I can use with a multiple of decks in my collection and not just one deck. So we're gonna see with this one. I'm gonna work with it though. I'm gonna give it a chance. Ask the Witch Tarot deck. I think I'm going to enjoy working with this one. The illustrations they're kind of along the lines of like a Liminal 11 Sterling Ethos publication deck. Yeah, I think the book is going to be good. I think I'm going to have fun working with it. I'm definitely going to work with it before I make a final decision. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to work with this one. So this one is definitely staying. The Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. Okay. By this time you may have seen all of my decluttering videos, and you know that I've gotten rid of quite a few manifestation type oracle decks. So I don't know. I do like my other Moonology deck quite a bit. So we'll see how they work together. If I can use this deck in conjunction with other decks. It's not so self-helpy as some of the other decks that I've rehomed. So I'm going to work with it. I think it's definitely staying for now, and we'll see how it fits in. So yeah, it's staying for now. Star Codes Astro Oracle, again, I have some other astrology decks like this. I love the illustrations in this deck. But I have another one in the mail that I'm going to get from my mailbox, and you'll see an unboxing of that one. So we're gonna work with it. We're gonna see where it fits, but I don't know if it's gonna be a long-term deck. But we're gonna give it a try. Okay, we're gonna give it a try. The Tarot Vintage. I'm so excited about this deck. I think it is beautiful. Can't wait to work with it. Enough said. Spirit Keepers Tarot by the wonderful Benabel Wen, the Revelation Edition. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very intimidated by this deck. I've wanted one of her decks for a long time. Like I told you, you know, her other two decks came out very early in my tarot journey. Didn't feel confident then about purchasing one. I regret, you know, I've always regretted not getting the Vitruvian edition. I have this one, but those feelings of inadequacy and not feeling up to the task with this deck, I just looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to be so hasty, but I'm thinking, I'm not feeling good about myself right now to have the confidence to think I can work with this deck. So I don't know what my future with this deck is. You know, maybe it needs to be passed on to somebody who really is chomping at the bit and who wasn't able to get it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that she was going to do another printing of this deck, and you could sign up for information, which I did because I thought I would want a second copy of it. But I signed up and I haven't heard anything. So let me know if you know what the future of this deck is, if there's going to be another printing. If not, you know, maybe I do need to pass it on to somebody who missed out. So the future of this deck in my collection is very uncertain. Maybe I'll need to pull some cards, not from this deck, from another deck, about what I should do about this deck. The original Rider-Waite Tarot Pack. I'm really excited about finding this for $7.99 at Half Price Books. I'm definitely keeping. It definitely has a place in my collection. Last but not least is the Cirque du Tarot by Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Josh Tufts. This one, I can honestly say, is definitely not staying in my collection. All right, we're going to go into a little depth, and I'll tell you why, because I've in between filming, I've had a closer look at this deck. All right, the art is stunning. These cards are stunning, but so many of the images are similar, and I think you get that more when you get into the suits. But how many figures, I went through this deck, how many figures can you have of or how many cards can you have of figures sitting, you know, on something, on a trapeze or whatnot? I do love this Empress. Also, what I told you when I unboxed the deck, a lot of the, you know, the ports are similar. They're just in different colors. All the pages are the same, all the kings and queens are all the same, just in different colors reflecting the suits. I also find the little humanoid figures in here to be very, very light and delicate, and I can't really resonate with them. You see the little spirit, they're so light and delicate that it takes a while, this is a good devil, for me to register. It's all rather blurry. There's no, and I think that's the nature, maybe the art style they were going for, to have a very dreamlike quality. I mean, it's so beautiful, but these figures are so little that, and there's so much going on, I'm having a hard time finding a focus. So yeah, I'm thinking this one, you see how tiny, teeny tiny the figure is here with the Two of Wands. It's just, a lot of these just seem, see the figure here, right in the middle, a solo figure here, a solo figure here. Just so many of the images, especially within the suits, seem so similar that it's hard to delineate one from the other. I mean, this is not, I do have some decks where are meant for more meditation, where you're meant to sit with the images and glean your message from them. But I didn't get this type of deck. I didn't purchase this deck for that, you know. And some decks you want it just bam, 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 get your message. And this is not going to be that kind of a deck. And it's not really a deck that I want to sit and meditate on the images on. So, yeah, I'm thinking that I am definitely going to move this one on. It's really, really cute. The colors are wonderful. It is wonderfully dreamy, but I'm going to tell you, I have two other decks that has this kind of energy, which I would reach for every single time above this deck. And let me show you what they are. They are my two decks by Fournier, the Tarot de Luz and the Tarot de Carlotides. Y'all, I love these two decks, the Fournier decks. And you can kind of see, if I want this kind of whimsical watercolor energy, imagery, the Tarot de Luz has it. Whimsical here, the Carlotides has it as well. So I would reach for either one of these decks way before I would reach for this one. I don't know why. Images are different. Each one is different. There's just too many images in this deck, especially when you get to the suits, that are just too similar for me. And I think especially in the courts, kind of missed opportunities, if you get my meaning. And let me know what you think. Do you have this deck? Has it worked wonderfully for you? I'm just not feeling excitement or called to work with this deck. So I'm definitely going to be rehoming it. I don't know how. There's a lot of them on eBay. I'll probably just end up taking it to my Half Price Books, or maybe giving it to somebody I know nearby, or maybe giving it to my niece. I'm going to be headed off to California in June, so maybe this would definitely be something she would like. All right, y'all, that concludes my massive unboxing video of decks that have been sitting up on my closet shelf for months. Let me know your thoughts on all these decks. Do you have them? Have you worked with them? What's your opinion on the artwork with some of these? Inquiring minds want to know. And also, if you found any value to this video at all, if you think I've helped you in making a decision on a deck or saved you some money, consider trying out that new super thanks button that I have on my channel. All right, with that, I will leave you to get on with your beautiful day. Bye for now.